Hello from One Blue Real Estate School. My name is Kevin Johnson and welcome to episode 4 of From the Classroom. Today we're going to be talking about prorating interest on an assumed mortgage. First, let's talk about why we do what we do before I show you the actual math. So when I'm paying a mortgage payment, let's just say I'm paying a mortgage payment on the 1st of February, okay? So we have January, we have February. I'm going to make a mortgage payment right here on the 1st. What I'm actually doing is I'm paying my interest from January and I'm paying the principal for February. We always pay interest in arrears and we pay our principal in the future. So again, that February 1st payment, paying January's interest, February's principal. So why is this important? Well, let's take this scenario and put some dates to it. If we have a January-February schedule here, we have a closing occurring on the 15th. The seller owns the property for the first 14 days of the month because the day of closing always belongs to the buyer. So the rest of the month belongs to the buyer. We have a mortgage payment being made on the 1st of February. So since the buyer owns the property here, the buyer's making that payment, the buyer is paying a payment that includes all of the interest for January and all of the principal for February. The problem with that is that seller lived in the property for 14 days, so the seller owes the buyer some money. So we have to determine how much money the seller needs to pay the buyer at closing so that when the buyer gets that mortgage payment, they have the funds to do it. So let's look at a sample exam question. A buyer is purchasing a property by assuming an existing loan with a balance of $110,350. The closing is scheduled for April 10th with the next mortgage payment due May 1st. The interest rate is 4%. And calculate the proration amount and indicate which party will be charged a debit and which will receive a credit. Now it's important to remember that our interest percentage is always an annual percentage. So I'm going to put a number of days up here. If you have problems remembering what days of the month have 31 versus 30 versus the February, right? Take a look at your knuckles. All of your knuckles, when you make a fist, are the 31s. In between your knuckles is the 30, or in February's case, 28 or 29. And when you get the last knuckle, you start over. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July 31, right? August 31, September, October, November, December. Easy way, but I've got it written out here on the screen for us for today. So we know that the seller owns the property for the first 9 days. Day of closing belongs to the buyer. So the 10th through the end of the month is going to be our buyer days. So that's 9 days for the seller. So then what we need to do is find out our numbers. So for the first thing, how much was our annual interest rate? So we're going to take the mortgage balance, which was $110,350. We're going to multiply it by the annual interest rate of 4%, and that's going to give us $4,414. Now we need to divide that by something. So do we divide it by 30 or something else? Remember, interest is annual, so we're going to divide that by 365 days, the number of days in a year, to find the daily interest rate. Because what we're trying to find out is how much to charge the seller for these 9 days. So $4,414 divided by 365 days gives me a daily rate of $12.09.315. Right? Always keep it to 5 decimal places until the final answer. So now that we know the daily interest rate and we know the number of days that the seller owned the property, we can quickly find out how much the seller owes the buyer. So we take the daily interest rate, we're going to multiply it by the number of days, and that's going to give us the seller amount owed of $108.84. Now we have to know who gets the debit, who gets the credit. Since we're taking money from the seller and we're giving it to the buyer, that's going to be a debit seller, credit the buyer. What do you think? Are you ready to try one on your own? How about it? A buyer is purchasing a property by assuming an existing loan with a balance of $150,000. The closing is scheduled for September 4th with the next mortgage payment due October 1st. The interest rate is 4.5%. calculate the proration amount and indicate which party will be charged a debit and which will receive a credit. Go ahead and hit pause, do your math, and then when you've solved the question and you're ready to see the answer, hit play again. Welcome back. What did you get? Did you get $55.48 debit seller, credit buyer? If you did, congratulations. If you didn't, let's see where you went wrong. So we'll get our days back up here. The seller owns it for 3 days, right? The rest is the buyer. So that is 3 days. Remember, day of closing belongs to the buyer. Our annual interest rate, we take our mortgage balance. We're going to multiply that by the interest rate. That's going to give us an annual interest amount of $6,750. We're then going to take that and divide it by 365 to get our daily tax rate. Then we take that, we multiply it by the number of days that the seller owned the property. It gives us $55.48 that the seller owes the buyer. What do you think? Pretty easy, huh? Don't stress about it and know that if you have any questions, we are here to help you succeed and pass the exam. If you have any questions or need help, give us a call at 321-333-5222 or visit our website, onebluerealestateschool.com. At the very top of our website, there's a button that says Study Resources with lots of free resources to help you prepare for the exam. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and make sure you subscribe to our videos on YouTube to make sure you're alerted when we post new ones. Thank you so much for watching this episode of From the Classroom, and have a great day.